Hey guys, it's Brooke. Welcome back to my channel, or to my channel if you're new here. I hope you guys stay. So, for today's video, as you guys read by the title, I am going to be reading to you guys some of my scariest, literally most terrifying dreams I have been having recently. I have been making a list, waiting to make another part to this video series for you guys, because I love it. Whenever I have dreams, I really like to look up what their meanings are, especially if they're like scary ones, because one, it just interests me a lot, and two, my grandpa used to have and still has dreams a lot about things that would come true, and I have experienced this on very few occasions. A lot of them have to do with death in my dreams. Sometimes someone who's very close to me will die, and then they will literally die in real life, which is crazy, and that has happened to my grandpa his whole life. So I really like to look up my dreams and see what they mean. My dreams are always so wacky and so absurd and scary, and I love looking into like what they mean and what they say about me and my subconscious. And also, if you guys have similar types of dreams, you guys can also find out what your dreams mean. So that is the plan for today's video. We are going to hop right in, but really quickly before we start, make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already, and follow me on all my social media. I always post it all right over here somewhere at the bottom. So make sure you guys follow me on all of those, specifically my Instagram and Twitter, guys. I have so many events coming up and projects that I'm working on that I'm looking forward to sharing with all of you. So make sure you guys follow me on Instagram if you don't already, so that you can be following me along this journey and being involved in my projects and so on and so forth. Alright, so let's hop into these scary dreams. Now, I have been accumulating these on a list on my Google Docs for literally, I would say, over 2 months. So buckle your seatbelts, kids, and let's hop in. And it was a dream that my dog had passed away, and in my dream, everyone in my family was just acting so fine with it, which, if you are a dog person and you have a dog, you know that if your dog dies, like, your dog is a part of your family. You don't just act fine. It's like devastating when your dog dies. But in my dream, everyone was acting like they didn't care besides for me. And my sister had like come home from college after hearing about my dog dying and just like bought us a new dog. Like, it was no big deal. Like, she didn't even care that my other dog died. She just got us a new puppy. And this new dog looked exactly like my dog now that passed away in my dream. It looked like her as a puppy. And basically the dream goes on, we're trying to like train this puppy, it's all cute and whatever, and everybody's just acting fine, and I am just so devastated. And in the dream, I come to find out that the way my dog died was she killed herself. How did she do that? She literally jumped in my canal. I live on the water, if you guys didn't know that, and drowned herself. What could that possibly mean? Like, the thing that also frustrates me is, I know when I look these up, like, I know that some of them are just gonna be like bland descriptions of like what a dog dying means in a dream and blah blah blah. But I literally want to know what a dog committing suicide in a dream means. But like, I don't think anywhere on the internet that would be somewhere. So I'm just gonna look up what does a dog dying in a dream mean and see what happens. Okay, so I looked up on Google, what does it mean if your dog dies in a dream? And this is what came up. When you have dreams about dead dogs, it doesn't have to be that your dog died. You might not even own one, but yet dead dogs show up in your dreams. There are various interpretations of this, and they are as follows. So one reason is that you have lost dear things. When you have dreams about dead dogs, this might be an indication of a loss of things that you hold dear. Dogs are usually a symbol of loyalty and friendship, and oftentimes may represent good things in your life. You could have lost friends through death, or a friendship simply ended. You could have lost your job or a family member or your home and prized possessions. Such dreams are a clear indication that you haven't gotten over your loss yet. It could also mean that I'm about to lose dear things. They could be warnings about potential losses. You could be on the verge of losing a job or a lifelong friendship or marriage, and this could be a sign of that. It also says that dreams about dead dogs could also be a reflection of your neglecting of your old skills. Okay, so I think what I most related to out of that was kind of the idea of just like things that I have lost dear to me. I recently lost my grandpa, so it could be just a symbol of like death and like that. But like, why? I don't know. Also, kind of neglecting of an old skill. I mean, maybe I felt like I wasn't like pushing myself enough musically and like practicing enough, but like I really do sing like every day and practice, so I don't really know. Also, like, I don't know, these just kind of seem like stretches. Nothing that I exactly can say I relate to, so we're just gonna move on to the next dream. Okay, so this next dream I had, this dream consisted of me, my sister, and 2 of my friends, and all of us were at my house. It was summertime, it was so beautiful out, and again, I live on the water, so we were just hanging out on my dock, swimming in my canal, and my sister and I used to surf. So we have these surfboards, and sometimes we'll just like float around in the canal on the surfboards. And in my dream, my sister had this surfboard and she was in the water with one of our friends, and the surfboard like hit her head or something, and she was like underneath the surfboard, and then my friend who was in the water with her like lifted up the surfboard to see if she was okay, and my sister was like having a seizure in the water. And I started like freaking out, being like, oh my god, get her out, get her out. And I started screaming for my dad from like my dock, being like, Dad, Brandy's having a seizure. And my dad like couldn't hear me. Like I kept screaming it and like as loud as I could, and he couldn't hear me. I don't know if you guys have ever had a dream where like you're trying to talk to someone and say something or yell something and you can't yell, but that's the feeling I was having in this dream. It was one of the worst dreams I've ever had. Mind you, my sister has also never had a seizure, so I've never even seen someone have a seizure, thank God. Like, so I looked up what does dreaming of someone having a seizure mean. And it says to dream of having an epileptic seizure represents extreme emotional sensitivity or anxiety, possibly a sign that you are too emotionally invested in a situation or dependent on an attachment. I don't really relate to that. So then further down it also says to dream of seeing someone else having an epileptic seizure may represent surprise or shock with someone else's emotional sensitivity or anxiety. So neither of those I felt were really accurate because I've never seen someone have a seizure, and it wasn't me having the seizure in my dream, it was my sister. So I looked up what does it mean if someone is drowning in your dream, and it says dreaming of another person drowning could mean that a friend or family member that needs your support for getting out of a troublesome situation but not wanting to ask for help. That part I related to. Not gonna get into personal details about that, but I definitely have been feeling like when I had this dream that one of my family members was in need of some type of help and unable to reach out and talk to me about it, and I think that's the reason why I had that dream. So yeah. I also looked up what no one being able to hear you in your dream means, and it says that these dreams are often accompanied by feelings of embarrassment and shame. It could be pent-up anxiety coming through the form of a dream. So I guess, again, that does seem very relatable to me. Like, I probably was very anxious about a certain situation and had this dream, and my anxiety was coming out through, like not being able to get help that I needed in my dream. So, yeah. Okay, this next dream was insane. Like, literally insane. And I'm going to warn people who are easily triggered by sexual abuse or sexual harassment or sexual assault or rape that this next dream has something to do with that. So if you are easily triggered by that, click off the video. So, okay, I had this dream. This is crazy. I had a dream that my sister and I, she was home from college, and we were driving up the block to go get something. I don't remember what. And she asked me if I could drive her car. In real life, I hate driving her car. I don't know why, I just do. And it was also snowing out, like the weather was really, really bad, and for whatever reason, I like couldn't control her car. Like I drove down my block and I just literally like I wasn't in control of the car. So we stopped the car and my sister got out, she started driving, and she was gonna go pick up my car for me to drive, and I was like, okay, you go grab my car from down the block and I'm just gonna start walking in the direction that we have to go anyway, so that way it'll be quicker. Like, you could just pick me up, like, closer to the destination. In real life, would I ever do that? No. But so I start jogging down this block, and there's this house with the garage door wide open, and some man is like working on something in his garage, and I'm kind of jogging past the house, but as I'm jogging past the house, there is another man jogging past this house on the other side of the street. And it was kind of weird, and I kind of started getting sketched out by him. And I was like, alright, I'm gonna kind of start walking back towards my house because this man is just freaking me out for no reason. Like, he wasn't doing anything. He was just making me feel uncomfortable in my dream. So I start to turn around to walk back to my house, and this guy starts jogging across the street, and he comes up to me, like, literally pushes me down, gets on top of me, and starts, like, kissing my neck and breathing on me, and I literally felt like a real person was breathing on me. It was so disgusting. I remember screaming so loud, and like the guy who was in his garage with the door wide open came running to like help me, and I woke up because of the feeling of like someone else's breath on my neck. First of all, one of my pet peeves is when people breathe on my neck. I just hate that feeling. So for it to be in my dream was so weird, but also like that was like one of the darkest dreams I think I've ever had. Like, I've never had a dream like that. And I've also never been in a situation like that, thank God. But for me to have a dream about that is so weird. So, what does sexual assault mean in a dream? Sexual assault can often be a symbol of the emotions of humiliation and feeling of powerlessness. It could show someone has tried to take advantage of you. Sexual assault could also be symbolic of sexist male attitudes. It may be that you dislike the way a man has been talking to a woman that you know. You believe that it is important to treat women in a respectful way, of course. Rape in a dream may show that you have problems with men, that you do not trust them and have possibly been abused in the past. Again, that is not the case here, and I don't hate men. I have a boyfriend. I love my father. So I guess a feeling of powerlessness might be something that I could relate to. I guess there are definitely moments where I felt like out of control of myself and like things around me, but I don't understand why it would come through in the form of sexual assault in my dream. I literally don't know. I don't know, and I don't know. There's definitely some deeper meaning behind why I had this dream, I feel like. Okay, so this next dream I had is kind of quick, kind of dumb, but I had this weird dream that my boyfriend's parents died in a car accident, and their car was at my house with all of their things in it. And then one of my friends came knocking on my door and was like, I'm so sorry, like, about your boyfriend's parents. And my boyfriend was, like, away at college, so, like, my friend was the one breaking the news to me. And then all of a sudden, my friend was like, just kidding, I'm pranking you, this is a prank. And I told my boyfriend, and my boyfriend was like, that's, like, some form of harassment, I'm calling the cops, like, that's just not okay. And I don't really remember what else happened in my dream, but I just thought it was really weird that I had a dream that my boyfriend's parents died, so I wanted to look up what that meant. And also the fact that they were in a car accident. Like, I have a lot of dreams about me being behind the wheel of a car and not being able to control it, me being in the passenger seat of a car and them not being able, like, cars just always being out of control in my dreams. I have a really bad anxiety around driving, probably because of the car accidents I've been in, so it's not that odd for me, I guess, that his parents may have died in a car accident, but I just wanted to read up on it anyway and see what it meant. And the internet claims that a dream about other people being involved in a car accident, if you dream that a loved one dies in a fatal car accident, the car accident death is symbolic of your own relationship with that person. Perhaps you need to let go of this relationship. Okay, again, I can't relate to that. First of all, it's my boyfriend's parents. It's not like it's my parents. Second of all, what? Like, they're such nice people. I don't need to, like, let them go or anything. Like, I don't even get to see them that often because my boyfriend's away at college. It's not like I'm, like, always at his house and he's always at mine. So, like, I think maybe, like, I was missing my boyfriend and, like, I just had that dream. Like, I think that's probably what more likely happened. But like for that specific circumstance, like those specific circumstances in my dream, like I just want to know what it means. Somebody analyze my dreams below. Okay, and I have 2 more dreams that I'm going to tell you guys because they are both so wacky and weird. This next one literally is going to make me sound like I was like on acid. I've never done hard drugs like that. Like, but this next dream literally makes me sound like I was tripping on something. So I had this dream that I was in this Minecraft looking world already. What? Like I would be swimming across these like lakes from like one like Florida to like the Bahamas to like a desert. Like it was weird. So I'm dreaming that I'm in this weird world, and while I'm swimming around to all these destinations, I get on this boat with like 2 of my old friends and my sister, and we were like headed somewhere weird. I don't even know where we were going, but we were still in Florida in my dream, and we went to like school. This is so weird. And our teacher was Donald Trump. And while he was teaching us something, probably something stupid, there were all these animal cages in this classroom. This classroom didn't even look like a classroom. It looked like a huge museum. It was really weird. And that's not even the weirdest part. So there's all these animals in this room, and all of a sudden, the Cat in the Hat comes into this classroom and starts chasing all the kids and murdering them. And so I start running and trying to hide and like let these animals out of their cages so they can be free. And I just remember every 5 seconds I'd see like the Cat in the Hat like in the corner chasing someone. I literally don't know. Like I don't know what you could possibly tell me that means. I'm gonna analyze that myself and say that because I'm terrified of Donald Trump and the Cat in the Hat, like that's why I had that dream. Besides the Minecraft parts and the vacation parts, I'm not sure about, and the people in the dream I'm not sure about, but like I was being chased by the Cat in the Hat. Like if you'd ever seen the Cat in the Hat, like just take a gander at what this guy looks like. He's absolutely terrifying. He gives me the heebie-jeebies. He would scare me so much growing up. Like I think he's the reason why I'm like afraid of like those mechanical looking animals. Like insert images so you guys know what I'm talking about. I have a fear of those things, and I think Cat in the Hat is the reason why that started. Anyway, moving on to my last dream. Recently I had a dream. Now I'm gonna preface this by saying I have a lot of dreams about my dad dying. I don't know why, I just do. Ever since I was a little kid, I would always have anxiety about my dad dying. Not my mom, just my dad. I would literally, when I was little to today, like I still do the same thing, would like listen to my dad breathing, like because he always snores so loud, so if I wouldn't hear him snoring or breathing loudly, I would think he was dead, and I would go in his room and wake him up. At like 3 in the morning when I was 7 years old, I would do this all the time, being like, are you alive? And he'd be like, I'm alive, let me sleep, leave me alone. And I'd be like, sorry, I'm just making sure. So that being said, I've had a lot of dreams about my dad dying for whatever reason, but this dream was probably one of the saddest and scariest. So I had a dream that my dad was out to work one day, and for whatever reason he took my dog with him, and he was driving his truck. He's a screen repair guy, so he like goes to different places and repairs like their window screens, windows, whatever. And he was driving his truck, and his truck just like fell in a pit of lava with my dog in it. And he went to go save my dog from the truck, and they just both died. And in my dream, I kept having these weird flashbacks of like my last moments with my dad. Like I was like sobbing, and I was like, no, like he can't be dead, like I just want to hug him one more time. And I'd have a flashback in my dream of like my dad coming home from work and me just like running up to him and hugging him. But like every time I'd have a flashback, his face would just get more and more blue and like dead looking. It was really terrifying. I woke up and I cried for like an hour after I had the dream, which never happens. A lot of times when I have these terrifying, sad dreams, I will wake up crying, but like I'll be over it in 5 minutes. I cried for a solid hour and I couldn't go back to sleep after I had this dream. So what does a dad dying mean in your dream? It says there's like a lot of possibilities. One is that you really love your dad and you're going through losses or changes in your life right now and you're feeling lost and a sense of security. I can 100% relate to that. When I had this dream, I had just gone away to college, so I was experiencing a lot of changes and definitely a lost sense of security. I was in a brand new place, like, so to have that dream, definitely that, like, spot on. Like, that couldn't have been more spot on as to why I definitely had that dream. And also, I love my dad so much. It also says that if your father was a horrible person and you wish he was dead, you could have dreams about him dying. Or that there's a part of your life that is changing or ending, and that part of you may be similar or remind you of your dad in some way. Or you watched a terrible movie in which someone died and had a phone conversation with your dad late at night after eating a lot of high sugar food. So that's like a really realistic version of what probably happened. But yeah, so that is my scary dreams and their meanings. If you guys like this video, leave it a thumbs up and I will make another part to this. Also, make sure you guys subscribe. I post videos weekly. If you guys have had any similar dreams or crazy dreams and want like me to look up their meanings, or like you know the meanings of them or you know the meanings of mine, comment down below. I love reading your guys' comments. And yeah. Alrighty guys, have a very happy Monday. I will see you on Wednesday. Bye.